and adverse selection for those that were voluntary contributors. Adverse selection is when you are faced with a calamity, a disease. That is when you say, I have not been contributing for 6 months. Now that a patient has been admitted, you go pay so that you can access. That is adverse selection. And in transitioning from NHIF to social health insurance, we also determined the issue of claims management and the payments. For those of you who have been following, and I know you are very keen to follow, government is now being it's required to pay the debts that were incurred by NHIF. Services were being provided by healthcare facilities, but NHIF was not settling, to a tune of 4 billion for mission hospitals, to another tune of 3.5 billion in private healthcare facilities, and so forth and so on. Now, what was the reason? The reason was about governance and fictitious claims manufacturing. The claims were being manufactured. I've said in this forum, and I will repeat it. A chemist somewhere in some place I don't want to name because it is not. We have all the information. Is registered in NHIF as a level 5 facility. And they will claim to have undertaken 109 amputations. And all those are claimed from NHIF. And within NHIF are the operatives that will work for those people, and you will find all that going. We have another hospital doing 3-4 times more surgeries than KNH, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital combined. We have other facilities that will present claims that Daniel Otieno, Hassan Omar, and Chiruyot, all these are men and they have given birth. You see, you find very fictitious claims there. So out of that, we had to deal with that mess. And that is why we wanted a platform where the financing is going to cover everybody, and that is in this, through this Social Health Insurance Act, the Social Health Authority was established. The Social Health Authority is an entity that has been established for purposes of strategic purchasing of healthcare services from healthcare facilities on behalf of the citizens. So you go, get the services, and then Social Health Authority will pay for those services. Now, how? Through the administration of 3 funds. Number 1, the first fund is called the Emergency, Critical, and Chronic Illnesses Fund. You realize that once you have been admitted in a hospital, there is a possibility that the Social Health Insurance Fund, which is the second fund, because I want to explain the 3 of them, that you have gone to a facility and your social health insurance fund has been exhausted. So, some chronic illnesses, some critical illnesses, for example, an emergency, you will have to go to another level where government will have to fund. So, through the Emergency, Chronic, and the Critical Illnesses Fund, purely funded by government, you are able to then find those services fully paid by government. Number 2, there is the Primary Healthcare Fund. Already, government is capitating lower level healthcare services so that when citizens access those services at primary care health facilities, government pays and you are, as a citizen, not required to pay anything. The debate that has come on board with Social Health Insurance Fund is because it is contributory. So the first two funds, no one is contributing to it. Government is the one that takes care of. So Social Health Insurance Fund is contributory. How? You have heard Mheshimiwa Aaron Cheriot saying that 2.7% of his gross salary goes into SHIF. Now, for those who are not able, the indigents, government contributes for them. For those who are in the informal sector, we have what is called the means testing instrument. As you enroll, and that is where you come in, as you help your families on board into Social Health Authority, there is information that is required that you provide that information. That information is then used to means test a household, not an individual, a household. So, if you on board as Aaron Cheriot, and you have 4 or 5 dependents, all of them are onboarded, and then a means testing is done on the information that is provided, it will give an estimation of your income by virtue of the information that you are provided, and then calculate this 2.75% so that the contributions now, as we have determined, average around 540, but we have those that are contributing minimum 300 and all through. And this law has made that contribution mandatory, from advanced selection to mandatory, so that the whole spectrum of society, everybody contributes. Those who are not able to contribute, government contributes for them. And then the package of healthcare facilities, the package of health services that you are getting have been determined. The cost, everything has been determined. And therefore, the last act is the Digital Health Act, Arnold. Healthcare has been placed on the digital superhighway so that these fictitious claims, all these things, are a thing of the past. And it is going to enhance prudence in the management of the resources, and claims management has been made easier, and we have dealt with the issue of governance. And therefore, I will want to ask all of us to register. Yesterday there was mass registration, and we continue through star 147 hash, or you go to the Social Health Authority website and you are registering there, and we will ensure that the Social Health Authority onboards the healthcare facilities, contracts with them, and that is where we are, and we will be ensuring that in a few weeks' time, everything should be running to ensure that everybody accesses this healthcare that is a major concern for all of us. Thank you very much.
Please clap for Prof. Give Prof makofi. Simama tu, umejiona. Tumeonana, simama tu. Wewe hapo hivyo. You in a jeans spot. Yes. Tumeonana na tukaongeleshana kimacho tu. Huku pigia Prof makofi mpaka nikakuangalia. So pigia Prof makofi nzuri. Okay. We are going to the open mic session. Thank you very much for our panelists. Professor Machuki, I know you will be responding on the issue of the new funding model for Comrades. It's very, very important. I know that will come up. Faith Nora, you will be telling us how Comrades can actually benefit from Youth Fund, right? It's important. So, but then let's allow them to actually ask us questions. We've got 3 people standing. We've got 3 mics in here. But I'd love to remind you, dial star 254 hash to access Hustler Fund. Kama uko na deni yetu ya Hustler Fund pia ulipe. And Prof has also told you, dial star 147 hash for you to be onboarded onto the SHIF platform. It's One Nation 47 counties. 147 hash, star 147 hash, get there. Na if you feel like you must be part and parcel of the conversations online zile zenye zina resist SHI na Taifa Care, please first of all dial star 147, be onboarded na urudi online uendelee kuresistia huko hivyo, because when you fall sick those guys there will not be hashtagging you to be supported. Sawa sawa, you guys tell that to your relatives and support them. Then finally, of course, there is the *823 hash to get onto the Boma Yangu platform. The journey of getting a house James Maina has actually done that. Nimewapatia nini tatu usisahau. Sawa sawa. So to the question and comment section, one person, one question, 1 minute. If you are going to give a comment, I'll give you 2 minutes. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa. Tulikuwa tushaongea tukaelewana. So I'd love to start from that end. You look at the usher, you raise your hand if you have a question or you have a comment. Whoever is ready to go, we move with them. Can I have that gentleman there on huyu amevaa saa ya gold hapo hivyo? I just saw the watch. Your name, the institution, question or comment?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Kalef Kipchirchir Kurgat. I'm from KMTCC Gowet. Mine was just to comment on and maybe to raise a concern concerning the new funding model. KMTC for quite long imekuwa na shida sana ku access the help, but after the government ya Ruto tumekuwa na nini ya KMTC finance scheme, but now the new funding model mess things terribly. So my concern na hapo kwa hiyo KMTC finance scheme, kwa sababu hiyo pesa yote yenye sisi kama okay like watu wenye tuko KMTC kama help imekupea pesa yote inaenda kwa shule. Unaona like venye there is a wise saying kikwetu wanasemanga masomo ni muendelee. Unaona, so like umeshika pesa yote umenilipia fee, lakini mimi personally sini welfare yangu hujaimaliza. So like I was nilikuwa naona kukue na changes, some amount iende shule na some amount iende kwa pocket ya mwanafunzi, kwa sababu Comrades tuko na mashida mingi sana. Unaona, okay,
Thank you.
Another comment ni okay.
No, we agreed 1 person, 1 question, and you've done so well.
2 minutes.
No
comment.
You made a question. A comment will be a different person. Can I have that gentleman there? Bring the mic.
Comrades Power. I'm Gabriel Supet from Narok, president of Great Masai Mara Technical College. And I have 2 questions. I'll use my 1 minute to ask both of the questions and to give comments. The first thing is the issue of youth empowerment. Tumesikia UDA ni chama yetu, inajali vijana. That's why wali come up na story ya Comrades wakakuja kutuongelesha. So we have a problem of unemployment in our country. Tuko na shida ya unemployment na tuna graduate kila siku lakini tunabakia nyumbani bila kazi. And many of us have taken technical courses. Nilikuwa nauliza mbona serikali yetu, and we are the ruling party, mbona tusitafute kakiti ama tupesa kidogo ya kupea fresh graduates waanze biashara zao. The second thing is about the issue of school fees. We have bursaries. In my home county, gavana wangu amejaribu sana, kila ward iko na bursary ya 12 million. Na kuna wakati kuna bill ililetwa parliament ya kusema kwamba hiyo bursary yote ichanganywe na ile help loan, school fees shule ikuwe free. Mbona msikubali hiyo bill so that we will not be paying school fees? If you really care hustlers, Mike kindly. Nasema wazazi wetu wengi na our siblings are wishing to be educated, lakini hatuna hiyo uwezo ya kulipa pesa. Mbona tusitoe hiyo basari yote na shule ikuwe free kuanzia primary hadi college? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This guy to be the last one here. I'll come back for the 6th round. Kindly. Get him the mic.
Okay, my name is Victor Koech from the Great Masai Mara University, and my question is, how will Kenya Kwanza government involve youth in solving some specific problems? Like, we don't have enough representation of youth in government, and those youth can help us. They have a better understanding of the specific issues that are challenging, like mental health, something like maybe unemployment rate, and matters academics. When we have them in government, they have a first-hand experience that can help implement and come up with the best thing that can help our comrades. As my home neighbor Joshua Rapseng has said, we are the majority, and our issues must be solved. Comrade power.
Power.
Comrade power.
Power.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would love to also have women. So far I'm only seeing men. Kwani hapa kuna wadada? Let's go with her.
Okay, my name is Chebet Valerie from Kericho Township Technical. I'm here in the interest of the TVET comrades. My question is the new funding model. At times the TVET students feel unrepresented because you can see when the president was speaking the committee to review the new funding model, they were only picked from the universities, whereas that the new funding model affected the comrades from the TVETs, because you can find that after the university students went to complain that this new funding model is not favorable to them, the scholarships and the help loan were delayed in the TVETs. Thus, some students failed to sit for their NEC examinations because the rule is that you must finish the school fees before you sit for that same examination. So you find that the new funding model affected the comrades from the TVETs, and yet they feel not represented. There is nobody that will go and talk on the behalf of the student. How will you go about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we give priorities to ladies? If there is one, I've dealt with 3 men. I'd love to see a lady, please. Come, as in, tunasema ladies na unaona mwanaume ameinua. 1/3 rule. We've done 3 men, 1 lady. That's not a third. A third of 4 is 1. Hiyo hesabu umeruka. Just a moment.
My name is Cherono Christabel from University of Kabianga. Mine is the issue on the CDF. The CDF.
You are so soft. Your name, the institution, and then you are very loud. We can't hear you.
Okay, my name is Cherono Christabel from University of Kabianga. Okay, my issue was on the CDF and the new funding model. When you see the CDF, the money allocated to the CDF, it's a large amount of money. And now it has to come from various institutions so that it can reach to our schools. And now as the ruling party, you can propose a bill so that those CDF can be channeled directly to the school institutions, so that, because it has to come from these MPs, MCAs, and schools. Why can't it be passed directly to the schools?
Somebody had asked that, but thank you very much, Hirono. In front, there was a lady there.
Comrades power. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, moderator, can you allow me, I ask one?
Just one, please. One. Let's proceed.
From the labor parts.
It's fine. One.
Thank you. Yes, we have, just let me ask from the labor side. What is the government doing to safeguard youth employed abroad through labor mobility, especially in Saudi Arabia?
Thank you. Thank you. Because there are so many guys raising their hands here. Can I have this one? Give this one. Okay.
So my name is Amos Panai, a student leader from Bomet KMTC. And for anyone that has been listening, everyone in that panel has talked about fake news. And the only way to counter fake news is by true news. We are being fed news that have receipts of stalled projects. Show us what the government has done and give us receipts of that. A question. Pesa ilikuwa kwa NHIF ilienda wapi? And if SHA and SHIF is a very good thing, why is it being forced on people?
Thank you very much. Amerig alikuwa ulize swali moja lakini ni sawa. Next question. Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades transact. Sawa. Uliza swali.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Elizabeth Kaiwatei, a student from Masai Mara University.
Can we listen to her kindly? Can we listen to her? You will have your opportunity. We will listen to you. Give her an opportunity.
Okay, like I said, my name is Elizabeth Kaiwatei from Masai Mara University. And my question is, like this period, we are celebrating the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So I have a question. Like, we have had cases of so many students, more so girls, who are being victimized and being killed in school. So my question is, what measures is the government putting so that we are sure that we as the girls or as the young generation, as we go to school in different counties, we are safe and secure? Because most of us are being victimized, and most of the cases, even those that have gone to court, very few zenye tumeona that action has been taken. So what will the government do to ensure that we are safe and secure so that we can learn in a peaceful environment without any worries?
Thank you. Let's go at the back. The people at the back. Tunakuja. Tunaanzia mwisho kabisa so that msisema tu kufika uko kwa ukuta. Yes.
Comrade power. Comrade power. My name is Ngoboy Letaipa from Kericho Township, and I'm here joining the UDA Comrade chapter, and I don't want you to let me down in this way. The rate of the unemployment in Kenya is really a problem to most of us. Tukiangalia hapa, how many youths hawana kazi? Tuongee ukweli. There are many comrades wenye wamemaliza shule. So I'm here by telling the party and all stakeholders, please let us make this rate of unemployment reduced. Otherwise, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's try also in the middle here, because back middle. Simama tu. Your name?
Asanteni sana. Naitwa Kiblangat Arab Moi from Kenya Islands University. So, swali langu ni je, hizi vitu tunasema hapa inafanya kweli?
Gani hizo?
Yeah, this is because hapo awali tulikuwa tunasema serikali ni yetu. Serikali ni ya mama mboga, serikali ni asda. Lakini hata kwa nomination ndio tulifanya, hatuchawana hata youth hata moja mwenye mleka serikali. Sasa tunasaidika wapi? Another thing, president akikuja hapa Bomet, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, nataka nikuulize, president akikuja hapa Bomet anaongea tu 10 minutes ameenda. Lakini tunasikia akienda huko, tunasikia 6 days, yeah? Sasa shida yetu ni nini? Unasikia chuzi alikuja hapa Tenwe kufungua a private hospital. Ni 5 minutes. Na tulikuwa tumeenda hapa kukaribisha president. Hakuna kitu tulipata, tulinyeshewa hata president anakuongea. Sasa shida ni nini? Ngoja kwanza, serikali ni yetu. Yaani? Sasa mnasema tena tukuje tuongee hapa mambo ya help. Na already shafanya kwa shule, sasa inasaidia nini? Mnaongea mambo ya housing. Si housing sasa hata tunatoka Bomet. Nyumba zinaendelea kujengwa huko sasa. Sasa inasaidia nini? Mnaongea mambo ya SHA, nini? Na already imefanya. Sasa tunasaidika wapi? Hata mimi niko private university na nasikia wanatupea 60,000 Permanent kila mtu. Hakuna upkeep kwa wenye waliingia juzi. Sasa watasaidika vipi? You have to address those issues. Hata nilikuwa nataka sasa president akuje live hapa. Sasa mnakuja tena amlete president. Sasa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tutapatana na president wapi?
Thank you.
Asante sana. Naitwa Moi from Bomet.
Thank you. Bring the mic here. Bring the mic here. I'm the one with the mic. Kindly get me the mic. Check. Kata hiyo mic kwa. Tunaenda na order. Nipatie mic. Nipatie. That's how it works. Friend, stand up. Comrades, power. Please proceed. Your name, institution, and question.
Fellow esteemed comrades, this forum belongs to us. So I'll just begin. With the 2010 Constitution, actually it was supposed to address the issues about unemployment and everything. I want to ask the representation that is here. We have a rule that 25% of all county and national contracts and tenders should be for the young people. How far are these people giving this to us? Ama wale watu tunaambiwa watu wameshinda tenders ni youth na ni youth mmoja ako 95 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I get that guy there? Tunarudi. Ukimaliza na mic
Okay, Arwet Sports Minister Gibsamumgut. My question is that we had edition, and I want to thank you, Majority Leader. You had the tournament KK, and we had a youth, a very small youth from a small village here called Matobo. He won the best player, and he was under 12. What measures do you have, Mr. Joshua Arabsang, to identify those talents from the small village by visiting and collaborating with these people who are the sponsors of the tournament? Kindly ensure that, because those youth cannot get to this county, maybe to get to this level of county. What measures do you have to collaborate with these sponsors of the tournament? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Clap for him. Since we have done a round one, allow me to actually give the panelists to respond, then I come for round two. Aaron, we start with you. Relax, tunarudi. I'd love with Aaron to begin because wanasema HE anakuja hapa 5 minutes na tuko nyumbani. So hii tuanze hapo kwanza with any other question you respond to.
Well, I think from the questions that have been asked, there are about 2 or 3 that I can respond to. The first one, somebody asked about legislation that was being proposed to ensure that we combine all bursaries and put that money together so that education becomes free from primary all the way to university. The answer to that is simple. If you put together all the resources that go to bursary from what the MCA gives or the county government, sometimes it's fought, you don't know whether it's from the MCA or the governor, what the women rep gives, and what are these called, members of the National Assembly, CDF gives, it totals to a very small fraction. It's hardly 10 billion shillings. The cost of education, if you see through this year's budget alone, education is the biggest charge on our national budget, costing in excess of 650 billion Kenya shillings. So, whatever is being given in bursary doesn't form even 1% of what it will cost to educate everybody free of charge. I was trying to ask Prof here and I couldn't get it, whether he's aware of any country in the world where education is free from primary to secondary. And that includes the wealthiest of nations, let alone a third world country like Kenya. So even as we try to seek solutions, let us stick to within the realms of reality, because that's what life is about. And I think we were honest with each other and we said, as we begin this conversation, there are adults in the room, so we'll say things that are practical. So the answer to that is that it's because no country in the world can afford that, not even Kenya. Second issue, somebody asked about presidential visits, that sometimes they are too short in this region. The comrade who stood said, hakupata kitu. So I don't know what exactly he wanted. Because that invitation was to a private facility. There, somebody has put in 5 billion Kenya shillings of their money. It's an organization called Samaritan's Pass. The only ask they have made of the government is that honor us by ensuring that the day we open this facility, be present so that we know that you appreciate that you made donations to your country. I believe it was a good thing to appreciate such people that have made donations to our country. Therefore, it was worth for him to take his time and come and listen to them. He would have addressed people, but he trained. So how do you address people? So, and I believe there will always be times where he will come and engage. The model that has been adopted, as opposed to the previous one, where we'd address ourselves in rallies, I have seen him do town halls. I saw one in Kisumu, I saw another in Taveta. I am sure we will have our own also, like this. A town hall is a session, like what you are having now, and you will get to personally ask him about the questions that are being asked presently. I think the last issue was in the issue of employment opportunities. The gentleman that asked got me confused, because when I was invited to the meeting, I was told you're coming to talk to students. So I was a bit lost that does he want to work and study at the same time, which would be commendable, because Sang there talked about the program. It's called what? Tujitume program, because it's available for students who want to work and get employed. So I think when you will be responding, you can give an answer to people like that gentleman who are interested in studying and working at the same time, because those opportunities are available. On the issue of safety, I think of Kenyans that are going out in diaspora, I saw the chairman for NEA is here, Mr. Vincent Kigen. I'm sure I will yield the floor at some point, because I will not stay all the way to the end, and he will get an opportunity to respond to those issues about safety of Kenyans that are going to work in diaspora. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Aaron. Just allow me to actually jump over to this side. We also have got guys who can respond to some questions, because I've realized some of them are actually to the scope that they could handle. We've got the UDA National Treasurer here, who is also a member of Parliament. Somebody spoke about young people not being in government. They are the majority na ni wachache. Na wewe najua wewe ni boy boy. Allow me to call you that, Treasurer. Wewe ni boy boy. Mwili tu ndio kubwa, lakini miaka ni kidogo. So mwambie kuwa asikuona hapa kaona wewe ni mbaba. Kindly just as in young people in this government, please.
Thank you, Maliba. Comrades power, comrades power, comrades wisdom, comrades wisdom. A breakup should not find you. A breakup should not find you single. Hata sisi kwa serikali, when the breakup was about to come, it did not find us single, because Baba was with us. Sindio? So he has asked me a good question on issues to do with young people being involved in government. I'll tell you here today, as young people, number one, we started this kind of programs so that you can be able to involve the young people in leadership and governance. I can give you a good example of young people who started in such forums. A good example is my good brother and Senator, Majority Leader, Aaron Cheriot, who was a student leader. Another person is our Secretary General, who seated here today, who was a student leader at Moi University. Our chairperson, Honorable Cecil Barire, was also a student leader. So I want to tell you that young people are, number one, involved, or they are employed in government, or they are given an opportunity in government. I can give you a good example. One person who's been supported and who's in government right now, who's a member of parliament, is this young person you are seeing here today. At 33 years old, I knew no one apart from a few friends of mine. Many people came and supported me. I won the ticket of UDA against very senior people. One of them right now is the Cabinet Secretary for Education. And after winning my ticket as the UDA, winning the slot as UDA that time for MP, the President, Dr. William Ruto, came personally 4 times to my constituency to come and support me. In Kisii, they don't elect young people. Most of the people who are elected are very old people. I can assure you, this government has really employed very many young people. It is only that most of the young people who are employed, they are not maybe very well known. A good example is this lady here, Faith. Faith works with the Youth Fund. Very few people know her, but she's here with us today. So what I'll tell you as young people, never lose hope, always get focused, work hard, and with time, you'll also get a space where you'll always get a space where these functions are. And when you get a space, make sure you use it well. I'll give you another thing. Personally, when I was elected, President William Ruto came 4 times in my constituency. He supported me financially, he supported me socially, and with so many other things. At 33 years old, being a treasurer of a UDA, of a big party like this one, most people don't get such opportunity. I never knew anyone. William Ruto just saw my potential and gave me an opportunity to serve as a treasurer in the UDA party from a small village in Ikuruma, Uko in Kisii. So I'll tell you, always as a young person, nobody should tell you that you cannot be able to do it. Come out. I normally say, dress up, show up, and come out, and things will work for you. There's one other thing I want to say. All these policies that the government is putting in place and microeconomic indicators are for the benefit of the people of Kenya, and more especially for the benefit of me and you. A good example is the UHC. The UHC, Uhuru tried it, Kibaki tried it, but it never worked. I assure you, with President William Ruto, universal health care, which is now Taifa Care, will work, and this is for the benefit of all of us. The university funding model is for the benefit of all of us. Most of the people did not believe in the policies that President William Ruto started. A good example is when he said that we will subsidize production and not consumption. Right now, everybody is happy because in 2022, as a country, we only managed to get 34 million bags of maize. Right now, as we speak, we have managed to harvest 74 million bags of maize. That time they were telling us, some were even putting sufuria in the kichwa. Right now, the other day in parliament, even the opposition were clapping for William Ruto because of the policies that he managed to put in place. Another thing is maneno ya maziwa. When he said that let us put 3 billion towards KCC so that you can be able to do mopping up of milk. In 2022, we were able to get about 3.2 billion metric tons of milk. Right now, we have managed to get 5.7 billion metric tons of milk. This is because of the policies that President William Ruto put in place, and that is why we are here today. I want to tell you, good people, most people are complaining about Taifa Care. Right now it's working. As you complain, tell your parent, register *147#. Young people always get to know what is happening in government. And I appreciate that the young people have been able to involve themselves in leadership and governance. I can see my brother Vincent Kigen is here today. Vincent Kigen is the chairman for National Employment Authority. This young man here will tell us how he has managed to employ or take labor mobility out of this country. 105,000 people have been taken out of this country to get employment and earn a living so that that money he gets can reciprocate back to the country. So I encourage you young people to always get involved in issues to do with leadership and governance. I don't want to talk much. I want to call my able Secretary General Honorable Hassan Omar to say something.
Asante sana ndugu yangu Nyakundi. Comrades power. Comrades power. Mimi, Cecily Mbarire, Aaron Cheriot, and others is testament that in student leadership is the path to national leadership. Kwa hivyo sisi tulipoingia katika uongozi wa hichi chama cha UDA, we requested the president, particularly with the current and the evolving political scenarios, that it is important, as it happened in the yesteryears when Moi was president, the late President Moi, that we engage or look for a formula to engage students actively and innovatively. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa leo as evidence that we do not fear to engage with the Kenyans in an open government, that we do not fear, or we are courageous enough to ensure that this is the most and tested and reliable aspect of direct democracy is through town halls. So through these town halls, we hear you, we are processing your views, and before you is a panel of eminent policy makers, men and women who have crafted some of the policies that are being implemented today, who are able to field your questions and are able to give you solutions, and we are able to take your feedback in terms of what are the genuine concerns of the Kenyan people. Kwa hivyo, this is not an accident. No party in this country has put students and young people in a forum. We will continue this until election comes and election goes. So therefore, we came here out of free will, out of our own volition, out of an endorsement by His Excellency the President William Ruto and the leadership of UDA. Through the ideas of some of your comrades led by Brian and others, we decided that it is important to form the Comrades chapter as an avenue to engage the young people directly, and secondly, to ensure that we have an honest policy conversation where we can escalate whatever the issues that emanate from these forums to inform public policy, so that we improve our government, we improve our governance, and we improve our country. Number two, which is the point I will make for you to understand, 60 years of the country's independence. Tuliambiwa uchumi utaboreka, watu watapata afya, vijana watapata elimu, ugonjwa tutapigana nao, na mambo mengine mengi sana, umaskini. 60 years on, Kenya is one of the most unequal countries in the world. Number one ni Brazil. Number two ni South Africa. Number three ni Kenya. In the last 2 years, there is a constitution of Kenya that is based on the values of social democracy or democratic socialism that mandates governments to intervene so that those who have less are given affordable and access to health facilities and other social amenities, and those who have more pay for themselves. Wewe kama ni tajiri, kwa nini unataka mtoto wako alipiwe elimu? Kwa nini wewe usilipe ada yako kwa serikali ili tufuatie yule maskini na yeye fursa kama yeye awe kama mtoto wako? That is what is called social justice. To make those who are worse off better off before those who are better off become well off. And that's what this government has been continuing to do. Article 21(2) of the Constitution mandates governments to intervene, to create legislative and other policy formulations to ensure that Kenyans realize Article 43, which is the right to housing, right to health, right to water, right to sanitation, and right to education. And the interventions sometimes are extremely hard and tough and tough for those who have. Wamezoea, wamekwenda mahospitali ya kibinafsi for 60 years by feeding on the sweat and the blood of the poor. Leo maskini through the universal healthcare amepatiwa fursa na yeye kwenda katika hospitali ya kibinafsi, private hospital. Wameanza kelele kwa vile maskini sasa pia anapatiwa fursa. When we talked about a mama mboga government, we simply meant we will go down and make sure that everybody gets an opportunity. Kama vile William Ruto alikuwa mtoto wa maskini, akaenda paka juu, watoto wengine wa maskini wataweza kwenda juu katika hii taifa. And this is what we are saying. Those who have so much, either fanya walipe waajiriwa wako vizuri, or we will come in terms of a tax justice policy and ensure that from your taxation we are able to provide health care to those employees that you do not cover under a health care program. Kama wewe utoweka watu wako chini ya mpangilio wa afya, serikali itachukua kodi kwako ili hakikishe imeweka Wakenya wote katika mpangilio wa afya. Wewe unatumia 100,000 katika kikao kimoja cha chakula na familia yako, na unachukua secretary wako unamlipa 50,000 ama 20,000. We must create an equal society. That's why for 60 years we have become one of the most unequal societies in the world. We are here to cure that, to reorganize, to totally transform and fundamentally shift the societal imbalances, to change the architecture of our social structure, the architecture of our political structure, and more importantly, to have an inclusive economy. Kwa hivyo ndugu zangu wadogo, what the government is doing, it is not being forced upon anyone else. It is those who must have or live to the obligations that refused to do it for 60 years. The courage of the Kenya Kwanza government and the leadership of William Ruto. Kibaki ali back down. Moi ali back down. Uhuru ali back down. But Ruto will soldier on. So that we are able to ensure that we cure what has ailed this society since independence. To ensure that every Kenyan is put in the brackets of the economy. Watoto maskini wamepewa elimu, na wale ambao hawana afya nzuri wapatiwe fursa ya kwenda katika zahanati za kiafya. Kwa hivyo, this is a government of courage. This is a government of commitment. What we are, kama mumesoma the plan, we are implementing the plan word for word, commitment for commitment, and promise for promise. That's what we are doing. The only other party to have put out a manifesto, for those of you who are students of political science, and to attempt to achieve that manifesto, was the KANU during Moi's time. Sahi, sisi tumeweka manifesto. Tukasema tutahakikisha watoto maskini watakaa mashule wasome. Na tukasema wale ambao wana kingi, watalipa kingi. Wale ambao wana kidogo, watalipiwa chote. When I was in school in Moi University, with Professor Madhuki and Professor Kindiki. Professor Kindiki was my classmate. Professor Madhuki was our yamet. I was getting the least bursary. Because at that time, nilisema babangu anafanya kazi na mamangu anafanya hivi. Lakini kuna wengine, so therefore this unequal funding model has existed since the time we were in Moi universities in the late 90s. Through the Higher Education Loans Board. Madhuki aliweka pale information, akasema yale aliyosema. Mimi nikaweka information, tukasema yale tuliyosema. Mimi nikapatiwa 18,000, Madhuki akapatiwa 38,000. Kwa hivyo, let us have an honest discourse and conversation so that we improve what we are doing. Let us also tell you what this government is attempting to do against all odds so that we alter the structure of our government, the structure of our economics, and the structure of our politics. Kumaliza kabisa, I'll talk about youth leadership. We have started these hustler chapters, and I want to talk to you from the bottom of our hearts. Tumeanza hizi chapters za vijana, Comrades, and we are going to capacitate the youth chapters because we believe this is the future not only of the party but of Kenya. We want you to come in and take roles in this society, to have the information and the know-how, to build networks, to raise above ethnicity, kuwa ni wa Kenya. Yule aliyosema serikali ni yenu, serikali ni yetu sote. William Ruto was chosen by the people of Kenya. He must serve the people of Kenya equally and faithfully. He must raise above ethnicity and balkanization. He must show us the way so that kesho, anybody, no matter who you are, can be elected president of Kenya. Tukiendelea na ile siasa ya shares na ownership, hii nchi itakuwa balkanized. People will have no chance. We will be led and manipulated ethnically. Those who want to rule us will manipulate our emotions. They will slay a siege mentality. Leo wewe ukipata shida, badala kusema ni shida yako, unasema mlima imeguswa. Sisi hatujagusa mtu. Sisi tumegusa Wakenya kwa maendeleo. Sisi tunataka kugusa Wakenya kwa imani yetu. Sisi tunataka Wakenya watuguse kwa kutupa imani yao ili tushirikiane kama watu wamoja. Na hii ndio, kwa hivyo kila nikienda natoa salamu za Deputy Party Leader Professor Kithure Kindiki, who I have asked and been requested that he will be able to ensure he initiates a process to ensure that this country stands as one. Kwa hayo mengi nitawacha wale technical people who respond to the technical questions, lakini one day I will come to address the UDA so that you can take up your roles as we transit. Some of you must come in and fill these positions so that you take it. Microphone imesema nikome hapo.
Pigia SG makofi. Brian Camp, kuna swali iliulizwa hapa hivi. There is one person who confirmed that nyumba zinajengwa Bomet, High Education Loan Board, as in the new funding model inafanya kazi, but he kept on asking, mnatuambia so that what? You are the chairperson of the UDA Comrades chapter. I love you to answer that question. Ameuliza, hizi vitu zote mnatuambia ndio ikue? In a minute.
Comrades power. My name is Brian Kipkorir. I'm the chairperson for the Comrades chapter. I want to answer that question by saying this. In any society, one of the principles that will never change, it is the truth. And that's why we are here to inform you on the programs of the government and how it's being tailored down and also how it's being implemented so that you may understand and also to get to know what the government exactly is doing. We are disseminating the information in the actual factual point of it. And that's why we have these technocrats here, and also we have other students who also are in the new funding model refining it. So we are not here just to say, and so what? We are here to tell you that whatever the government is doing is a real implementation that needed to foster the society change and also to better the social expectation of the Kenyans so that we may have a transformative economic and also in the side of social justice. So we are here so that we may have this information and also you help us to disseminate this information to each and every individual because you are here by the chance and also be our ambassador for the UDA party and for the government. Asanteni sana, tutazidi kuzungumza na wale ambao watazungumza na mimi. Karibuni.
Thank you, Brian. Mr. Vincent Kigen, there was a question on labor. She asks, and two other guys spoke about jobs. Vijana wana kazi. I'd love you to just tell us what NEA does and the current programs that young people can benefit and work with. There's a microphone there. In about 2-3 minutes.
Comrades power. My name is...
It's working. It's okay.
It's working. My name is Vincent Kigen. And I'm the chairman of National Employment Authority. I'm delighted to be part and parcel of this congregation today, having been mentored through student leadership. I was the vice chairman of students organization of the University of Nairobi, serving together with Babu Wino. And there is a rule that a comrade is always right, or it changed. A comrade is always, and the rule 2 is, refer to rule number, Evo. So at National Employment Authority, we are in the space of labor export. Labor export is, we are exporting the skills we have in this country that our youth have to outside world, abroad. We are exporting those skills so that you benefit as an individual. You go and work, you get empowered economically, and also we alleviate the problem of unemployment that is in this country. We know there are a lot of interventions that the government is putting in place to address the issue of unemployment, and one of them is labor export. And in labor export, we want to assure you, comrades, that when you get that skill and you really feel you want to utilize it abroad, we are there to ensure that when you go there, your welfare is well taken care of in that at that workspace. We ensure that by signing what we call bilateral labor agreements with destination countries, so that when you go, there is a framework that is already laid down that spells out what you are supposed to do and the number of hours you are supposed to work and even the salary that you are supposed to be paid. I know there were issues and someone raised when I came in. There were issues in Saudi when about our people. I mean, the migrant workers being their rights being abused. But when this government came into place, we have since reviewed the labor agreement that was there for Saudi, and if you've monitored for the last 1 year, there has been very minimal cases of distress from Saudi there, because we've reviewed the labor agreement. People go there now; they are informed. Before you go, you are informed. You have the contract. You read it in your language, the language you understand, and even you get someone to explain to you what you are supposed to go and do, and you understand the contract before you sign. So that when you go there, you go having the knowledge of what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. So this government has addressed all those issues that were there. The cases that were there were spillovers from the previous government, because there were loose ends. But now everything is all right, and I can assure you, and I want to encourage every one of us, before even you, as you approach your graduation, as you approach to finish your course, ensure you have a passport so that you be ready for the market. We have very good markets, not Saudi alone. We have labor agreements with the UK. We have a labor agreement with Germany, those European countries. We even have an MOU with Israel. And why not for the small wrangles that were there? Israel is paying very well migrant people who go and work in Israel. And I want to encourage you that let's align ourselves to that path. Thank you.
Faith, kindly, I'd love you just to take comrades through how to access Youth Fund. In 3 minutes, you have a mic there. And also, respond to what we are doing around the 16 days of of activism against gender violence. What we are doing, I know you're in so many spaces that are organizing that, especially government spaces.
Okay, thank you. So while I talk about the mandate of Youth Fund, I'll also be addressing the 2 questions that were directed to me. That is one, a comrade asked if the government can give a kitty for comrades who have completed their studies to start a business. Then there was also another question on the tendering processes, that there is an allocation, the 30% allocation for young people, women and persons with disability, and what we are doing to support young people who want to participate in government tenders. So, first of all, allow me to just briefly go through the mandate of Youth Fund. Youth Fund is a fund that was established to support young people between the ages of 18 to 35 years who want to engage in entrepreneurship. It is a fund designed to support and tap into the potential, creativity, and innovativeness of young people towards supporting job creation and reducing inequalities in all aspects of life. So, we have several mandates directed towards supporting young entrepreneurs. One is offering affordable credit facilities. We have comrade-friendly credit facilities And to answer the comrade's question, you don't have to wait for you to complete university before you can start a business. What the government is pushing is for the young people between 18 to 35 years. Even when you are in college, you can still start up a business, and we can support you throughout the process with the affordable credit facilities that we have. So we have group loans and individual loans. For group loans, you don't need collateral, and they attract 0% interest. You can borrow up to 100,000 Kenyan shillings for a start. So that is very ideal for comrades. If you have an idea, maybe you want to equip a tuck shop, or you want to start something within the school premises, you can group yourselves within a group of 10 people. You register that group as a self-help group at the social development office. Then you open a bank account and you come to Youth Fund office, and we will support you with funding of up to 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Then we also have individual loans. For individual loans, it attracts 8% interest, and you can borrow up to 2 million Kenyan shillings depending with the security that you have. So with this, you can apply as a sole proprietor or as a company. And thanks to the digital transformation efforts that the president is pushing, right now you can actually register a business on your computer, as long as you have an eCitizen account. Who has an eCitizen account here, by show of hands? Who has an eCitizen account? Who has interacted with the business registration service on eCitizen account? Yes, well, if you have an eCitizen account, you just log in, and then you go to business registration services, and you are able to follow the processes. It is very simple. You don't need a lawyer to do that whole process. You can register the business on your own. Then once you have the business, you are able to start your entrepreneurship journey. And in addition to affordable credit facilities, we also offer comprehensive business development services to the young entrepreneurs. We understand that entrepreneurship can be very difficult and lonely, and we are not just in the business of dishing out money. So we support you through training programs that we have, and we also have market linkages. If you have a business and you are looking for market, we are there to support you throughout the process to make sure that your business grows successfully. And I want to encourage you, comrades, you don't have to wait until you complete your tertiary education to get into entrepreneurship. You can actually get the affordable credit facilities that we have at Youth Fund, and then you can supervise. You can even get another person. We have very many young people who are employing others while they are still studying, and you can just supervise within your free time. So it's something that has been done, and we know that you have a lot of potential, a lot of ideas. You can help us towards job creation and addressing the issue of unemployment. So then let me go to the question of the 30% tenders. Youth Fund also has some sector-specific loan products that we offer, and we understand that for young people who wish to participate in government tenders, in as much as there is a law that 30% of tenders allocated by all government institutions should be given to young people, women and persons with disability. Those young people, once they are given a tender, they don't have the money to even supply those goods or services. So most of the young people always have the challenge of working through proxy to supply the services. You are a young person, but there is an older entrepreneur who is just using your details to make money with your details. And Youth Fund has an LPO financing product. This LPO financing product helps young people who have obtained government tenders. We give up to 70% of the LPO the LPO contract that you have been given to enable you to supply the goods or services. And you can actually do this once you have the business. Reach out to your tertiary institution where you are studying. Look out at the government offices, the county government offices. There are these allocations, but the uptake is very low. Once you get that tender, we are there to support you. In addition to LPO financing, we also have asset financing for those young people who want to purchase assets to support their businesses, like tuk-tuks, like borders, or anything that you want to support your business. We finance up to 70% of the asset that you wish to purchase. Then we also have the labor migration loan, which I had said. We work very closely with NEA to support the young people who have secured employment abroad, and we give up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings to help them with the pre-departure expenses. There are so many products you can look through. We have our website. You can check on the website, Youth Enterprise Development Fund. You will get more information about the other sector-specific products that I have not spoken about, such as Talanta Loan, Agribiz Loan, and Go Green, and there is Vijana in Blue Economy. You can check through and see the exciting products that we have to support you. In terms of how you can access our services, Youth Fund has offices across all the 47 counties. We are located majorly at the county commissioner's office. Like here in Kericho County, we are located at the county commissioner's office. And once you visit there, you will get our Youth Fund officer. They will guide you through the whole process. But we implore you, please, once you get the loan, please make sure you use it for the intended purpose, and please repay so that other young people can also benefit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor Machuki, kindly. Briefly, tell us about the new funding model. And then there was a question about how KMTC guys are struggling. All the money goes to tuition, to the college, and then Comrades wanabaki wanainama. Very briefly, because our time is gone.
Thank you very much, Arnold. Let me pick these issues, but allow me to say one thing that is very important. Madam Director, talking about access to finance, government providing catalytic funding. Finance cannot buy you a business idea. There is a need to develop an entrepreneurial culture among ourselves. Let us have appreciation of the socio-economic problems and where we can play a role in solving those problems, package those problems into business ideas, put in place a business plan, and there are programs that will enable university, college students to be mentored in entrepreneurialism. That is where the seed starts. Financing comes when you have an idea that is packaged, that can be funded. Number two, on NEA, Director has mentioned about that. I teach in a university and I talk about global strategic management. One of the things that happen is that as a university students and college students, there is something called comparative advantage. Studies have demonstrated that Kenya has comparative advantage in its human capital. And it is a skill that, if well packaged, can be used globally. And that is why labor mobility becomes an avenue through which Kenya's labor capital can be harnessed to solve global problems. Now, let me go directly to the issue on KMTC versus higher education Loans Board. Up to recently, the Kenya Medical Training College, previously it has been admitting students on its own, but now currently it has been brought on board by the Kenya Universities and the Colleges Placement Services, and therefore there are students who apply to KMTC and they are placed. And just like any other college, just like any other TVET, because there was another question with regard to the new funding model, universities, no. The new funding model focuses on universities and the TVETs. So the fact of the matter is that the new funding model works for the universities and TVET institutions. Even when institutions exhibit unique the academic means testing instrument, the application process, the banding also applies to TVETs. With regard to KMTC, the students there have an opportunity to apply to Higher Education Loans Board, one for the loans and for the scholarships. But there is an aspect which has been raised with regard to upkeep financing. The upkeep financing is just like it applies to TVETs, where upkeep is provided at 18,600. It's also a process that KMTC students to be considered and be brought on board on that particular arrangement. So that just like universities where over and above students are accessing scholarship depending on their level of need, based on the means testing instrument, they are also accessing upkeep financing. Ile pesa inaenda kwa account ama mfuko ya mwanafunzi. That one is there, and as recent as yesterday or the previous day, the comrades have been having issues that Higher Education Loans Board has not dispersed financing to them. For a simple reason. And this one I will speak in a lower tone so that I'm not misquoted. All of us know that Kenya is a democracy, and some Kenyans went to court to have a hold of the new funding model. Now, there was no clarity what the court put stop to, because we have students in the university the 2022 KCSE students are second year and they are in on the new funding model. Now, the court gave an injunction, the model. The question is, what about these students who are supposed to be funded? So the matter has been deliberated between the Office of the Ministry of Education and the Higher Education Loans Board, and funds have now been released to the students. There is another question on the funds in NHIF. Where did the funds go? I think a comrade needed to have listened to my explanation that in as much as NHIF was receiving the payments or contributions from contributors, both the salaried and the voluntary contributors, the claims that NHIF was settling were fictitious claims, were claims that were manufactured. The whole issue of governance, and therefore I needed not to say option. Those funds went to facilities that were fictitious, with fictitious claims, and that is why we had to now put everything to be visible end to end on a digital health platform, so that if I visit a health facility and I am referred to a level 4 hospital, the system is triggered to track the transactions, the doctor who reviewed me, the Medicare that I received, and the cost, so that Social Health Authority pays for the service that has been offered, and it can be tracked on a digital platform. So the simple answer is the funds in NHIF may have been lost through corruption.
Prof, just a minute.
Thank you.
Prof.
If there will be other questions, probably the rate of unemployment has been addressed. The issue of youth being mistreated in Saudi Arabia, director has addressed. The national CDF, new funding model, and probably Madam here and everybody will talk about how the government can come up with programs to deal with, solutions or interventions to deal with, like, issues to do with mental health. These are issues to do with mentorship, and one of those platforms is this one, a policy conversation. But here also the students are able to be motivated to be given that dose that will divulge issues to do with mental health, and there could be some other programs, but I want to stop there because of time, Arnold. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Allow me to bring in Mr. James Minor. Going back to the gentleman who spoke about, you are telling us ndio tufanye nini. He spoke about houses being built in Bomet, where he comes from. So number one, he confirms that the affordable housing project is on course. I know you spoke about the opportunities that exist for young people within the affordable housing project. Just in 2 minutes, please repeat some of the things you said earlier on, because apparently he wasn't listening. That young people can actually benefit from the affordable housing. I'm talking about Comrades. You spoke about internship, you spoke about jobs being created, you spoke about the supply chain. Please, in 2-3 minutes, just go over that again, so that then, instead of asking us, the houses are being built, sasa tufanye nini? Tell him the opportunities that exist. It doesn't hurt to repeat.
Thank you, Mal. Thank you, Mariba. Let me first of all say, for any market to be feasible, there must be an effective demand. The government's ambition of constructing 250,000 houses a year is by itself an effective demand that can trigger the value chain associated with the construction. Let's first of all pick what the immediate in a house, if you think of building a house. Ordinarily, people look at the raw materials, sand, ballast, as well as timber items that are supplied to the construction site. Then labor. They look at the laborers, maybe foodies. Many people do not go beyond that. Let me give you an example, because we use examples of where it has been implemented. Egypt started their affordable housing program 5 years ago. They've been able to do 750,000 units. Today, if you move around shops in Nairobi, even here, you start getting products produced in Egypt. Because the secondary factor of the affordable housing, it triggers manufacturing. It triggers companies that want to establish, say, cement, say, even assembling of goods. And that's why we are setting aside some level of production of materials so that we don't necessarily have to import doors and windows, frames. They can well be done by our MSMEs as well as Juakali. While a provision is already made of where you can get some fats, then you have somewhere you can take the fats. Meaning, if you are a foodie, you want to graduate from a Juakali to an MSME, then there is a line of graduation. And if you are an MSME, then there is a line of graduation to a manufacturing level. You know, there are so many companies that are working for Tiba. There is Nairobi Tiba, is a huge company producing Tiba, door frames, and very well designed goods for the industry. But again also, you can also grow in that small scale if there is demand. But here, demand can only be created by the number of the houses that you do build. Then, let me go to the tertiary levels. These indirect that are never seen directly. Finance. Every bank in Kenya almost have a finance sector for funding real estate. There are mortgages to finance. There are construction funds to finance the affordable housing. So, this triggers again another level of employment. The other level of employment associated with insurance. Houses has to be insured. Loans have to be insured. And this is another level of the value chain that is being created. So you don't have to even to be all in the real estate industry for you to benefit. Then, of course, the other business services which are associated with the real estate. There is the real estate agency. Once houses are also completed, there is another level of employment. There is marketing. There are people who will be selling. And by the way, we are engaging the real estate agencies, which we are already discussing. They are the ones who are going to go out and sell these houses, do the agreements. Of course, there is also legal engagement in this. And for those who are doing legal, for example, any lawyer will tell you, when you do an agreement for a sale of a house, there is money. So you can see how this goes on and on. The transport. And of course, sometimes the storage of materials. Very easy area. Storage, warehousing of products. The value chain is very long. But again also, Chairman here talked of going abroad. You need skills. When you leave this country with the skills, you are better off than person who is going out there to do manual work. The payments are very high for people in this sector. In the finance sector, is volumes of money. In the industry, is volumes. Let me remind you what happened at independence. And that's why you find a lot of Indians in Kenya. When the British wanted to construct the railway line, there was nobody in Kenya who knew how to construct. They borrowed our people to do the manual jobs. but all the skilled labor was imported from India. So if you are living in Kenya and going through the chairman here, we are giving currently internship to students who are on course. Join an internship with us. You get trained. And the day you look for passport and ready to go, you not go as unskilled labor, you go as skilled labor. After campus, after college, you can join us. We are offering internship. And by the way, we have taken over that 3 consortium firms with over 300 employees or with 300 consultants who we want to intern. Our first lot of 2,000 we are taking, we are just shortlisting the team. We will intern with trained people, very good professionals, very experienced, for you guys who are leaving campus to gain experience, so that when you go to the job market clearly, you earn good money. You earn good money and you are also skilled. If you wish to leave the country again, you go as a skilled export. Then, finally, real estate, when you own a unit, is the best investment, safest ever in the world. Name it. No one, including Mheshimiwa Nyakundi, would not want to own a real estate. It's the safest ever. It's the safest investment, and studies have shown that in urban areas, families who reside in their own houses, their children perform better in school. This one you can go and you see whether I'm wrong or right. And
thank you.
Economy is also in major countries. They have used reconstruction of their countries, like in Germany after the Second World War. Their economy was uplifted through real estate and construction. China today, which exports most of the products all over the world, produces the highest number of finished products for housing. Reason of their population, they took housing and construction as their major item to develop their country. And so, as in Kenya here, the same. And we have started bearing fruits. Our cumulative, so far, number of employed, number of both direct and indirect, is going to 160,000. And beyond that, let me tell you, young people, today, when you leave school, when you get your first job, start the home ownership journey. And I have said, it's a secure. Don't think buying a vehicle. A vehicle, if you buy a new vehicle today from the shop, you walk with it outside the shop. You take it to Nakuru. You bought that vehicle, 5 million, for example. In Nakuru, you say you want to sell that vehicle. You will not get 3 million. Today, if you invest in a real estate, a house, after 2 years you want to sell the house, I'm telling you, if you bought that house 1 million, you will not get less than 2 million on the same unit. It's the safest ever, and I think I've given you the best advice. Stick to this, and you earn your fruits. Much later, you'll never regret. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arab Sang,
yes.
There was a little bit of a bashing on government feelings. I'd love you to respond to that in just 3 minutes, and any other thing you will have. You saw a little bit of passion.
Right, I think there was the issue of how to identify the special, let's say creative art. I can say in the office of the president, you know Dennis Itumbi. He is now the head of special programs and special programs and the creative economy. So basically, his department and also through the Ministry of Sports, Arts and Arts, they will be coming down to identify those talents from all quarters. If it is in terms of sports, if in terms of creativity, it will be there. So you guys be ready. The way the tournament, the Hela Talata Hela football tournament was done, it was done from across Kenya. And that's why we came up with a team that is now going to African Cup of Nations. So we have that one under the office of the president. Also, the Presidential Digital Talent Program is there. I think all of it will work under Dennis Itumbi. And that program will be able to identify, nurture, and develop talents of youth in Kenya. As we talk about jobs, yes, there are many jobs, as he has talked about the one for export. Local jobs, there are many. Also for you, and also for the youths that maybe have not been able to, to go to your level in the universities. We have many jobs like the Climate Works Mitaani, which is employing over 200 youths in Kenya. And every county will get around 1,500. And that one is own. We have also the studio Mashinani, cinema Mashinani, Future Bora, all that are programs to identify talents in our villages. We only talk about internship. Government has started that to help you guys when you finish college and maybe you need to gain some experience. We have internship programs from the public service internship program. Like now the teachers, like this year, the government has employed over 56,000 teachers. Most of them were from the intern program. We will also take another 20 next year, intern teachers. And these interns are taken across not only teachers, even clinical or engineering, in all sectors in government now. There are internship program and they are paid. It's not free. It's not like before. You get up to around 25,000. That is good money to start with. You go for it 1 year, then God willing, if you perform well, you will be taken to that organization or somewhere else. So there is that internship program. And maybe just to end is, I want to help also Chairman here Nea, that for those, our brothers and sisters who are suffering, those who had gone before to places like Saudi Arabia, as you said, there is a toll number from the NEA where you can call. They can call even from where they are and they can be assisted. They can go to the embassies of Kenya in those countries, but they can call this toll-free number, which is 800 22 22 23. 800 22 22 23. So you can send to them, those who are suffering there. There is one that had been, I was informed the other day, she was suffering from somewhere. We sent the number, she has called, and she has been assisted. So for those who are there, who went before this program of the government that is now having some bilateral agreement with those countries. Before, ilikuwa agency tu inashika mtu wewe unaenda na yeye hata serikali ajui umeenda wapi. Ukishafika huko ndio unasema nateswa hapa na kutukujua uliendaje. Lakini kwa sasa serikali imetake over so that those who are going, they are known, their numbers are taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Bet. Oh, you have a mic. I was worried you didn't have a mic.
Thank you, Maliba. I just wanted to add on to the chairperson of NEA. I want to request us, the youths of Kericho, let us please log into National Employment Portal. Once you have logged into the National Employment Portal, it's provided that you register as either an intern or a job seeker. Then through that, we might be lucky and some of us can be able to get in the jobs. Then secondly, on the issues of employment, because the main and the basic thing is us, the young people, getting empowerment. I'd like to call us, the young people, also let us invest on agriculture, because the President Ruto's Kenya Kwanza regime is now investing more on productivity, on production, sorry. And through us investing in agriculture, we are going to get corporates introduced to our societies. Maybe using example the milk coolers maybe in Kabianga. You know, once it was introduced, now farmers and also the young people are able to keep cows or rather cattle, so that through that cooperative they are able to get empowered. Secondly, is also an issue on politics. You know, politics is what dictates the economy of the nation. And we, the young people, let us come out. Don't fear anything. Because these people, deep state system does not exist. You are the deep state, you are the system. And therefore, even now, we have a problem of leadership, yes, but we are not fighting the leadership. We are helping these leaders achieve what they promised in their manifesto. And therefore, coming even with the elections that will be coming for 2027, I want you people, let us remove all ignorance in the society. These people using, maybe using bursaries to lure our parents, to lie to our parents. People using roads to campaign so that they can lie to our parents, you know. It's because of us that are not taking the responsibility of removing the ignorance between in our society through guiding our parents. And now we have a very big responsibility as the young people, because we had the Gen Z movement. Imeenda chini. Now we have to revive it, and maybe I'll lead you maybe from 2026 so that we remove total ignorance and have rightful leadership, so that even in the parliament we have people who are leaders and politicians, not only politicians who go there because of deals and other shoddy business deals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Allow me to just come. Antonella, as in tukombele ya watu sijakushika mkono kwa ubaya. There was the question on GBV. It's not been responded to. Just in a minute, what are we doing at the party in government around the 16 days of gender? In a minute.
Comrades power. Comrades. My name is Antonella, head of the digital communications of the party. Lakini Maliba umeniambush, but ni sawa tu. As the young lady asked that what is the government doing in order to combat the GBV and violence meted on girls, women and students. Recently, if you saw, the president had a meeting and a partnership with 47 women representatives across the country. He has provided them with funds, and he has empowered them to go across the country to preach to the girl child, to plead with the boy child, and to the perpetrators of violence. Gone are the days that girls belong to the kitchen. Wasichana mko hapa, si munasoma pamoja na vijana. You do the same exams. At times you even pass and perform better than them. So why is it that when a girl gets married, she's sent to the kitchen? Vijana and comrades that are here, in the near future you will be parents. Is that what you want your girls to go through? Or is that what you want your girls to go through, to belong to the kitchen? Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Uko sure? You want them to belong to the kitchen? Then why will you take them to school?
It's easy.
Perfect. So, just to answer Maliba's question, the government and the president is committed to ensuring that the safety of women of this country, the safety of the students, wasichana peke yake. We have also seen men who have been wamekatwa, wamenyofolewa pia na mabibi. So GBV si ya women peke yake, on ensuring that every Kenyan is safe in their workplace. Every Kenyan is safe in their home places. And therefore, wakati president na hawa mama watakao wanakuja vijijini kuwaongelesha, tusaidiane kuangamiza hii GBV, tusaidiane pia kupura na ndugu zetu.
So, true. That's what I want to talk about. Comrades power. Comrades power. Boy child. Nataka niseme hivi. You know, one of the things that has actually happened as we empowered the girl child is that we abandoned the boy child. By the way, if you empower the girl child and you do not prepare the boy child to meet the level of that girl child, hapo sasa unaleta chaos in future. So it should be balanced as we move forward. I'm hoping that as we move forward, for those of you who come from areas where FGM is practiced, how do you solve FGM? You don't talk to the girls. You actually talk to the men. Siku ile hakutakuwa na market ya wasichana wametairiwa. Hakuna msichana atataka kutairiwa. It's about demand and supply. So long as the market demands msichana ametairiwa, I can tell you somehow, I know in places where girls wanajipeleka kujitairi wenyewe, si ndio? So if you empower the boy child kuwa kitu imekatwa si mzuri ya kukula. As in, umesota ama namna gani? Si ndio? You disrupt the market ama namna gani? Na market ni sisi, si ndio? They should empower us so that tuendelee sisi wote, because mnajua tu vile vitu ziko. Finally, kuna mtu anaitwa Kibet, is our director legal. Nataka tu awaambie juu ya kujoin chama. This man is very sharp, lakini amenyamaza. And I love sharp human beings wale wenye wapigi kelele. Wanasema ukae hapa katikati. So just tell them about how to join the party and exactly how to actually get going around these things that are politics. In a minute.
Good afternoon. As Maliba said, my name is Kibet Emmanuel. I come from this county. I went to school here, born and bred here. I went to school just across the road, across the river, Kericho High School. Who went to Kericho High here? Yeah, I can see. Even your senator who was here earlier went to Kericho High School. So, as they said, I'm a director for legal at the party, the UDA party. I'm also the director, an independent director at the Kenya Post Authority. And when one of us challenged us as to what the government has done for the young people, I think I'm one of those beneficiaries that the government has aided by appointing us to those levels of authorities where we get to interact and to pass views, comments, and the aspirations of young people. So I think just to represent and to buttress what Mheshimiwa Nyakundi had said, the government is keen to support all the young people through all ways and means that it can. And we, at UDA party, we continue to build on that platform and to leverage on the opportunities that the government has given us. So swali ambayo umeuliza, how to join our party. First of all, nowadays it's very easy to join the party. You can even join the party through eCitizen. And I might have seen the day before yesterday when the president was launching the 1-year anniversary of eCitizen services and the millions of services that have now been onboarded to eCitizen. So one of the easiest ways to join the party is you go to eCitizen and then you go to the ORPP, that is the Office of the Register of Political Parties. It will give you an opportunity there where you can resign from the party that you belong to. I suppose there are those who don't belong to UDA but you came here. Just as usually in church, wanaulizaga nani ni mgeni, lakini hatutaki kuuliza namna hiyo leo, because we want to welcome you by telling you you can join UDA through the portal, you can join through the USSD, and we'll be sharing the USSD code with you. Because Babu, this party is moving towards digitization as the government is also advancing in digital services. We do not encourage manual registration of our members because it is available. You can join through USSD. That means you can join through any phone that you have. You can also join, the USSD code is *509#, and it will give you prompts, which are very easy to follow. And then, of course, you can join online through eCitizen. We welcome you all to the UDA party, and we are very happy to be here. For those of us who come from here, we are very happy.
In a minute, karibisha hawa na uambie penye ofisi ya chama iko.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know whether most of you knows me. Kuna watu wananielewa, wananijua kutoka vile juku mahali tunatoka. Hamna? No, there are people. Anyway, I'm the UDA coordinator Kericho. I want to tell you this party is good. I worked for the deputy president in URP. I worked for the deputy president in Jubilee. And I work for the president now in UDA. And I want to tell you, huyu President Ruto asahau mtu. The other day when we were doing they'll never be forgotten. Some of them have been given some appointments as directors. Some are working in the party. Some were given nominations for those people who work for the party. So I want to encourage you, when we'll be doing elections in Kericho, I want to see young people taking over from us. I want you to come forward so that you can be elected as leaders of UDA in Kericho. Will you come? Welcome. Number 2, just give me a minute. I work with, I'm a director in Kenya Leather Development Council. We are opening, I think you heard the president talking about a factory being opened in Kenani in Machakos. There will be a very big potential for employment. And you cannot be employed without having a skill. Encourage you to register in some courses dealing with leather. You know, if we can have skilled people in Kericho, for instance, who have done leather. I know politicians from Kericho are very cooperative. We can encourage some of you who have got skill to open some businesses in Kericho. You do some leather products, final products like shoes. We can talk to schools to give you a market for the products you will produce. And you'll be big people, will get money. So I want to encourage you, those who want to have those skills, you can just see me later behind the tent. Then I can tell you where you can get those skills. And then when you come, I've had madam from Youth Fund. You can borrow money from Youth Fund, open a small business, get your shoes, and then we get the money from market from schools. Otherwise, I want to say, karibuni Kericho sana. Karibuni saidi sana. Asante.
So, Chemtai Melody Bet sent me a message here on text. She's giving you a proposal from to the office of the government spokesperson. She says, the government is doing so much out there, but I have realized that the projects and work of the government ain't being disseminated correctly. My take is, can the office of the government or the president's spokesmanship be devolved? So ukirudi uambie Daktari Isaac Mwaura kuwa tunataka proposes. I have got to go without having her tell you about elections. Somebody spoke about it. So in a minute or two tafadhali, kuja salimia hawa Wakenya wazuri na uambie mambo ya elections.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Comrades power. Comrades power. My name is Veronica Chebet. I'm the Vice Chair National Elections Board, UDA. And I'm happy to be here. I come from Nakuru County though, but my mom originated from Belgut. How many are from Belgut here? Hi. Okay, we are very soon coming back to our grassroots elections. And as youth, I would advise you to maybe take part in elections, because we have a provision for the youth, maybe youth representatives, people with disability, even women of my age or even men. Kindly do participate in our grassroots elections when we come back to you. Otherwise, thank you so much and God bless you.
Asante sana. The executive director for UDA, Nicodemus Bore, was here, but he rushed into a meeting. There's also our director programs, Daniel Kipto, he was here. There was a meeting he rushed to. For the staff, UDA staff who were here, simameni tu kwanza watu wawajue. Unajua kupanga hii mkutano paka itendeke si rahisi. Watchman, I have seen Antonella is here. UDA staff, please stand up wherever you are. Just wave. Hawa sitawapatia nafasi ya kuongea. These are the people who've made this actually successful. And before I forget, Comrades power is the second most powerful power after the God of the power of God. Sindio? Comrades power. So when Kigen, he said, when Aita Kigen, sisi huwa tunasema tu Kigen, was saying that the comrade is always right. Aaron had already told us much earlier that as we engage, we should also look at it from this other end, where we don't ask question just because tumeenda na kitu kisemwa inarudiwa. Nataka tusimame. I want us to stretch. We've been sitting for a while. Let's all stand up. Na tutoe kofia. The ESC anthem.
Mungu twaomba unilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuachilike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu kinguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you. God bless you, Kericho. You will be sorted shortly. Kindly get us the microphones. Whoever has a microphone, please bring it here.